This is Radov coming at you with your mid-afternoon news. So many things to talk about: earthquakes, hurricanes, even tsunamis. But today's broadcast will primarily focus on the Kurds in the Middle East and what they've been doing. But first, some vocabulary that will be said throughout the broadcast. Parliament, the supreme legislative body of a usual major political unit, that is a continuing institution comprising a series of individual assemblages. Referendum, the principle or practice of referring measures proposed or passed by a legislative body, head of state, etc., to the vote of the electorate approval for or rejection. Kurdistan or Kurdish region, a mountain and plateau region in southeastern Turkey, northwestern Iran, northern Iraq, and Syria, inhabited largely by Kurds. Kurds, a member of an Islamic people speaking Kurdish and dwelling chiefly in Kurdistan. Things to keep in mind about Kurds are they are Sunni Muslims. Kurds make up about 10% of the population in Syria, 19% of the population in Turkey, 15 to 20% of the population in Iraq, and nearly 10% of Iran. Family lines are patriarchal from the father's ancestry. Education is not very good and never taught in Kurdish. Girls did not attend school because they were used for help at home. Lately, in the Kurdish region, there have been talks of an independence referendum to become their own country. The thought of the referendum first started in early April of 2017. The thought process was carried out until about mid-June when President Masoud Barzani announced the referendum would be held Monday, September 25th. The Kurdish region is about 74,000 square miles. As you can see on the map, the most of the land is what used to be Turkey. However, all the valuable land is spread mostly through Iraq and some parts of Iran. Unfortunately, Iraq is not too keen on letting this take place and have threatened several times. Iraq is a rather large country, so why does it matter so much about land that is dominated by Kurds that can barely communicate with the rest of the country? The main reason is for the economy. In the Kurdistan region lies a huge oil deposit which you might not know the Middle East is well known for. The GDP of the country would actually go down. Less land with less jobs means less money intake. Iran and Turkey aren't pleased with the turnout either, but their main concerns are mentioned after the results of the election. Kurdistan has a parliamentary system with the President Masoud Barzani. Well, before it was its own country, it still had a properly functioning government. Officially becoming Kurdistan could change politics. Security throughout the country and official police, firefighters, and schooling that the surrounding countries do not run or fund anymore could also affect their income. For the surrounding countries, there is less land to govern, which could make it easier. On the other hand, now that it is an official country, how will its politics be affected and affect the economics, human-environment interaction, culture, and social structures? Human-environment interaction has to do with the change in region because the land is being taken by the Kurdish region. Culture is such an important factor in the Kurdish region. They have their own language, Kurdish. The voting process is an amazing and efficient way, however, it isn't the best with secrecy. Anyone who wants can give their vote, which is amazing. However, the way they cast their ballot isn't what I would consider perfect. To vote, there are several checkboxes, but your vote has to do with the color of finger paint that is on your ballot. They have tissues to wipe it off, however, they might get paint stuck on your finger somewhere and giving away your privacy. Some Kurds, especially women, were so excited to vote they dressed up in proper Kurdish attire and stayed in queues overnight. As you can see in the pictures, the people are charging through the streets waving the Kurdish flags so proudly. This is just a slight glimpse of how much they want independence. With the results of the referendum being released a little more than 24 hours ago, an astonishing number of 92% out of all of the people that voted were in favor of the independence. While that is all well and fine, major breaks of ties between Iraq and Kurdistan, from Iraq saying that they will close flight patterns on Friday, turns out that the aftermath of the election will be more pressure than the reveal of the referendum. As I stated earlier, the major problem with Turkey and Iran have to do with the results of the referendum. Turkey has stated now that they have taken a huge amount of their land. They no longer will trade with them. If that does end up happening, Ankara, the capital of Turkey, and Erbil, the capital of Kurdistan, will lose a lot of money, an approximate of £7.5 million. That is pretty calm to what Iran is going to do. Iran is saying that they will use Iraqi militias to reclaim their oil plants, which happen to be a key part in the Kurdish economy. War could start, and Kurdistan is barely a country with little time to prepare to fight for their country. Now that all of these sudden threats that were made are almost a reality, the politics could very likely fall to Iran, who will take their land back. It will kill their economy because it will take a huge oil source from them. Turkey will destroy the economy of Kurdistan because it is a huge trader of goods with the Kurdish region. Barzani has gone to the surrounding countries to negotiate the terms, and not one country has been accommodating because of what he did. They are treating him as though he has doomed the planet. I am not trying to persuade you into what you think is right. However, it could go either way. The Kurds were doing what they thought was right for their territory, and the surrounding countries did not like how it ended up. However, the Kurds could have come up with a better solution as to how to deal with the problems they knew they would have to face in the future. As far as we know, the referendum is breaking up the world. It is so big that both the US and Great Britain have highly advised against it, and called it a letdown when the results were revealed. My question for you is, do you think it was right for the Kurdish region to go through with the independence referendum? You may discuss in your pod for about a minute, and we'll go over some of your opinions. I'll do my best to keep up with the current event. I would be happy to answer any questions of yours. Thanks for watching.